Well, good morning, everyone. And how are ya? And once again, welcome to another live this morning. Hope you're having a great start to your day. And we want to say hello to a few friends here this morning as we get going. And Brahim numero uno from Portland, Oregon. Eric, salut. Michael from Norland. Sorry, Mike, you're number 3 this morning. Lori Lee, Ventura, California. Good morning to you. Kerry, Nebraska. And Fran from Orangeville, Maryland. Good morning. Kevin, Oshawa. Donna, Park Hill. Wendy from Markham. Nellie, good morning. Mary, Norwich. Yolande, bonjour. Nick from our staff, good morning. Rita, Wasaga, snowy Wasaga Beach. Jeanette, good morning. Keith, how are you? And Sharon from Kansas. Linda, oh, those Lindas. Anna, Caledon, how are you? Jeanette from our staff. And Vera from Newfoundland, and Karen Coldwater, and it bet you it's cold this morning. Heather, Mira Machi, Mira whatever. Francis, how are you? Dorothy, P-E-I. Joe and Maria from London. Linda, oh, New Brunswick. Jeanette and Crystal. Wendy from London. Donna from Bell Valley. And Luella, West Tennessee. Judy and Danny. And Marilyn. And Sue. Sue, you're from Bolton, right? Georgie, Halifax, Nova Scotia. Nativity. Chrissy. Wanda from Virginia, good morning. Diane, Thunder Bay. And Marcia from Mexico, good morning. Barbara, Sherry, Mississauga. Myra from Windsor. Gary and Snowy Bolton, yeah, Snow. Carol and Marley. And another Donna. Robin, Connecticut. And good morning. Someone from Saskatchewan, I missed it. Cheryl, Jean, good morning. Sandy, and Dave from Muskoka. Okay, guys, this morning I want to talk to you about, we got several different studies. I'll just sort of, I got 10 new studies that I brought out, or not all of them are studies. Some of them are just articles that I've flagged for our interest's sake. And, okay, so let's just go through them. I don't know if we'll get to all 10. But like I said, some of them, this is a 10-year study on the effects of 1 hour of exercise, okay? A 10-year study, 1 hour of exercise a week. And what they found was a 22% drop in insomnia symptoms, okay? That was the headline of the study. 1 hour a week of vitamin E, the real vitamin E, exercise, okay? The real vitamin E exercise produces 22% drop in insomnia symptoms, okay? So obviously, exercise, very, very good for sleep. Well, you know what exercise does? As long as you don't over-exercise. In the last few sessions, we talked about this being Stress Awareness Month. Okay? I guess April is Stress Awareness Month, and we did 2 sessions on it. And one way to lower cortisol is exercise. As long as you don't over-exercise, over-exercising will increase your cortisol. But if you know me, and this is just, guys, personal and clinical experience, sweet spot for exercise, okay? Here's what I believe, here's what I've experienced, and here's what I've seen in my days of practicing and seeing over the years tens of thousands, probably 100,000 patients. Boy, that's a lot of people. Anywho, here's my sweet spot for exercise. 15, 20 minutes, 3 to 4 times a week. Okay? 15 to 20 minutes, 3 to 4 times a week. Now, on my off days, okay? On my off days, I walk. And that's exercise. Okay? I love walking. But I want you to get strong. I want me to stay strong. And I can't overemphasize the importance of your muscles. The more they study muscle, the more they realize that metabolically, it's one of the greatest things you can do. Metabolically. Remember, 93% of the population are upside down when it comes to their metabolic health. They have a form of metabolic syndrome. 93%. Now, I don't want to be in that percentage. You? Well, one of the best ways to stay out of that 93% that are on the Titanic metabolically is muscle. So when I talk about the sweet spot of exercise, 3 to 4 days a week, lift something heavy, including your body. If you can do a push-up, good for you. Bands, stretch bands. Get strong. I can't emphasize that enough, what muscles do for your body. Okay? Vitamin E. 1 hour a week of exercise, 22% drop in insomnia symptoms. Study number 2. A new study on the ketogenic diet, very effective for schizophrenia and bipolar. Okay, now let me just break this down a bit. We've talked about this before. This came out of Stanford medicine, and they said that a ketogenic diet, ketogenic is a low carb diet. It's almost no carbs. It's a low carb diet because you're burning ketone. Now, I don't like the word, and I've said this to you before. I'm not big on keto. Go to the grocery store and you see keto foods. A lot of them are processed. And I don't like that stuff. I'd rather you eat eggs, meat, and cheese. And then you will be on a true ketogenic diet. Why? You're changing fuels. When you lower your carbohydrates, your body is burning a different fuel. Your body is burning ketones, not glucose for fuel. So much better for you. Okay? So much better for you. Eat nutrient-dense foods. You can have fruits and vegetables, but not many, if you want to burn ketones. And the best thing to do is start with the reset. Reset your metabolism. Go 30 days without carbohydrates. I promise you, your brain will thank you. It will give you a high five because now you're burning 99% octane. Now listen, here's what the study said. When you eat a low carb diet, and very low carb, okay? It helps in mental health. It helps in mental health. And what does it do? It changes the fuel, your mitochondria in your brain, the battery packs. They really appreciate the right fuel. And for those suffering with bipolar and schizophrenia, hey guys, it's not me that's saying it. Although I have said it. It's Stanford saying it in a study. You know, guys, we have done so poorly. Let's be honest, okay? We have done a disservice, really, to people suffering with bipolar and schizophrenia. A disservice. Because we have been focused in. We have been focused in on medicating them. And only medication. Doctors, because they don't study nutrition, think, and I had a physician recently tell me that food has nothing to do with mental health. Hey, I'm not, I could have argued, but I'm not going to argue because I don't waste my time, and I mean it. I don't waste my time on Lindas or Larrys that don't listen. If you're not even willing to listen to the studies or read the studies and listen, Linda and Larry, if you're not willing, there's no use me getting a migraine or a heart attack over people that don't listen. At least have an open mind, doc, to look at the studies. What have we done with bipolar? Not much. I mean, lithium. And, whenever, and this is what happens, guys, I can tell you. Whenever people suffer from bipolar or schizophrenia, it's always, well, you know what? You know why they've come off their meds? As if the meds, as long as you're on your meds, you're just perfectly fine. You know what? I found over the years, that's not true with bipolar. Meds or no meds, you're going to have exacerbations. And I'm not saying not to take meds. I'm not saying that. But certainly, they should look at food. I always said that when someone is bipolar, schizo, they're canaries in the coal mine. Their systems are very fragile. They just happen if you don't give them the right fuel. They're in trouble. Some people, I get away with it, doc. Maybe you do. In the long run, you won't. I remember a guy in my office said, I have a Pepsi a day. Every day I got to have my Pepsi. I said, well, that's 14 teaspoons of sugar. You know that, eh? Well, he said, don't bother me. I said, I know, so far. But I said, I just took your blood work, and you really are effectively a diabetic. You just don't know it yet. Because your A1C is high. And you're on the Titanic. And you really hit an iceberg, but you just don't know it yet. You know what happened on the night that the Titanic hit an iceberg in the North Atlantic? They were still playing. The orchestra was still playing. People were still dancing, even after they hit the iceberg. True story. Like, talk about burying your head in the sand. No, in the North Atlantic. The boat was soon to sink. And so people, anyway, some people think they get away. They can eat whatever they want to get away with it. Nah, that's not going to happen. But that's all right. You're not listening. But people that are fragile, we all have our weaknesses, guys. We all have. You know what wisdom is? Is figuring out your weakness and then putting it here and saying, hey, I don't care what other people say or do. I know what my weakness is, okay? And I've shared to you guys my weakness, okay? Diabetes comes out my ears. It's in our family. It's a weakness. And when I look in the mirror, I see my dad, especially as I get older. But you know what? Since I'm 18 years old, I really have not tried to fool myself. Me and carbs, we don't get along. Do I love them? I more than love them, but I don't get along with them. Most people don't. But someone that is schizophrenic, carbs kill them. If they're bipolar, sugar kills them. It zaps their brain in the wrong way. It's the wrong fuel for them. Now, the problem is, and I've said this to you many a times, the problem is, will they do it? Even in their bad days, when they don't feel good. Will they go to the gym and exercise? Will they eat properly and lay off the carbs? See, are you going to do it? That's another issue. And especially when they get their brain's not even functioning properly. And this I talked to you about a week or two ago. I talked to you about the importance of habits. Habits. It's so important to just, hey, I don't care how I feel. I'm exercising today. Hey, I don't care how I feel. I am going to be religious about a low carb lifestyle. If it's a lifestyle, okay? Anyway, interesting, isn't it? Ketogenic diet, very effective for schizophrenia and bipolar. Who knew? Who knew? Why don't I stick to that topic? Mayo Clinic, okay? The Mayo Clinic is now starting to call Alzheimer's type 3 diabetes. Hello? 2005. When researchers discovered that Alzheimer's, unlike what they thought was amyloid plaque, was really type 3 diabetes. It's diabetes of the brain. And you guys know this. The brain is swimming in fuel, but the wrong type. Okay? There's fuel up there, but it's glucose. And And the brain is swimming in it. And it can't use it. It's like you're swimming in the Atlantic and you're dehydrated. Well, you can't drink the water. It's salt water. And that glucose, extra glucose in there in the brain, your brain can't use it. The mitochondria are swimming in the wrong fuel. And that's what they're doing is now Mayo Clinic agrees that Alzheimer's is type 3 diabetes. Now, is that going to change physicians? I don't know. I'm not going to hold my breath. They get something in their craw and they can't change it. It's hard. Man, it's hard to implicate change in medicine. They're so religious about certain things. Alzheimer's, it's genetic, it's amyloid plaque, we don't know what it is, nobody knows, here's a drug, the drugs don't work, but that's okay. It's not okay. It's not okay. Mayo Clinic now calling Alzheimer's type 3 diabetes. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. They have woken up. It's right in front of us, guys. Type 3 diabetes, Alzheimer's, and really, type 3 diabetes, bipolar and schizophrenia. If you really unpack that study, why are they saying that a ketogenic diet helps in schizophrenia and bipolar? Because they really are type 3 diabetic. They're the canaries in the coal mine. Let's stick to food for a minute. Top Indian oncologist, one of the top oncologists in India said this: stop consuming sugar. Article. Wow. Stop consuming sugar for cancer. I'm telling you, does food have anything to do with cancer? I think so. Might not be everything, but it's a lot. One thing we can do, you get the diagnosis of the C word. Stop eating sugar. Yep. Who knew? Okay. Okay, what other studies did I look at? Okay. Let me just see if there's anyone on food. Oh, women. This is an interesting study on women with type 2 diabetes. Okay, so adult onset diabetes, they're diabetic. They often have, and this is a study, women with type 2 diabetes often have a low iron deficiency too. And let me tell you why I think that happens, okay? Not only, look, type 2 diabetes is an allergy, okay? It's an allergy to carbs. It's the cause. It's the cat. You know what I mean by that? You only have to follow me for a bit, and I tell you the cat story. I used to tell it every day, several times a day in the office, okay, when I was in practice. several times a day. And I'm sure Jeanette and Nicole and whatever, they got tired of hearing it. Okay? They got tired of hearing the cat story. But it was a true story, and I was emphasizing something. You have an allergy. And the lady said, yeah, I know, Doc. I'm allergic to my cat. I said, well, get rid of it. Get rid of your cat if you're allergic to it. When you have diabetes, you're allergic to carbs. You don't get along. Yeah, Doc, but I love my cat. Yeah, and you love carbs. If you're a diabetic, you love them, but they don't love you. And by the way, I told that lady, your cat don't like you either. Isn't that what cats are like? Okay, that's just a joke. No, but she was serious. And so was I. She was serious. She said, I can't get rid of my cat. I said, well, I can't help you. If you're a diabetic, you and carbs, nope. Nope. Don't fool yourself. Okay. I had to do that little rant. But it says, women with type 2 diabetes often have a low iron deficiency. And I'm going to tell you why. Because women more than men, okay, now don't come after me. I'm just giving you facts. Only the facts, ma'am. Remember Dragnet? You got to be my age to remember that. Okay? Only the facts. Women, more than men, they don't eat enough steak. Now, I'm not talking about you guys, because you guys got the memo. They like their chicken and salad. And they're almost like a vegetarian or a vegan because they bought the lie of low fat. Oh, Dr. Martin, I gotta eat. I have low fat yogurt in the morning. That's stupid. And then I have a salad for lunch. That's stupid. No. Guys, don't turn this channel yet. Let me finish. But if you don't eat steak, if you don't eat red meat, you're not going to get the heme iron. And low fat, what did that do for us? Since the 1970s, we went low fat. The geniuses of the marketing people of the cereal companies, they hired the tobacco boys, the addiction boys, to do the marketing for cereal and low-fat foods. They brought them in. And it's been an unmitigated disaster. Even today, people are worried about cholesterol, the boogeyman. Fat makes you fat. No, it doesn't. I'm sorry. It doesn't. But I'm not confident that anything's going to change. And we get women. Women come in the office, I go, hey, Casper. They go, what? What did you just call me? I said, you look like Casper the ghost. What? I said, you got no red blood cells. You don't have enough hemoglobin. You're not eating enough steak. What? My doctor told me not to eat steak. I said, your doctor doesn't know a thing about nutrition. Not even 1 minute of it. Steak is the best food in the world, by far. It's not even close. Okay, liver, but I don't like liver. Got the memo? Women with type 2 diabetes often have a low iron deficiency. And then women, complicates things with women too. They got ovaries. Okay? That complicates life for women. I fully understand that, okay? But women don't eat enough steak. Don't be fooled. Okay, how many did I get to? I don't think I'm going to do all 10 that I had. Okay, so Mayo Clinic, I got this one. Let me cross them off and then we'll do the rest at another time because I did this one, I did this one, I did this one. Okay, we got a few more to do and we'll do them. Well, it won't be tomorrow because tomorrow's question and answer Friday. Okay, I'm breathing again. Okay, guys, we love you. Thanks so much for your feedback. Listen, tell your friends. If they can't watch us live, they can watch it. They can watch this podcast at a later date. They can download the podcast on the Doctor Is In podcast on any smart device. Okay? Tell them to be smart and listen. Linda and Larry. Okay? We love you guys. We'll talk to you soon.